today we are going to look at how we can name organic compounds, right? This right here, how do we name this? Don't let this scare you. This is just a simple structure, right? When you say this, what do you do first? You know that this, we have 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms here, right? So 3 carbon atoms, right? Now, what did you learn from the basic chemistry? We know that when you have 3 carbon atoms, it's propane, right? Prop. Anything 3 is prop, right? So this right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 3 carbon atoms, and that is prop, right? And that is the parent name. Prop is the parent name. 1, 2, 3. That is the continuous, longest continuous carbon atom, right? When you count from here, 1, 2, 3. When you count from here, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, right? So this is the longest continuous carbon atom, and that is 1, 2, 3. When you count from here to, it's the same 1, 2, 3. So it doesn't change. If you count from here and that is the longest, then you take that one, right? This right here, we have 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms, and that is prop, right? So the parent name becomes propane because it comes from the alkane family, the alkane family, right? It comes from the alkane family. So we add propane, right? We have those that come from the alkene family, and that is the double bonds. Is that what your tutor taught you? Right. So when we have double bonds, then we call it alkene. But when we have the triple bond, then we call it alkyne. Right? That is where we have YNE. This is another family. That is the triple bond. Good. So this right here, the name is propane. Propane. Very simple. Now, let's go to this structure. This structure right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 carbon atoms. 7 carbon atoms. When you count from here to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 carbon atoms, right? So we have 7 carbon atoms. And we know that 7 in mathematics, 7 is called hep, right? Hep. So you have hep, right? And now, because this is a single bond, right? Single bond, we call it heptene, right? Heptene, right? Because it's coming from the alkane family, right? So this is heptene, that is the parent name, the longest continuous carbon chain, right? And that is the heptene, right? Now, when you are done with that, then you look at the next rule, which says that we should look at the substituent or the subject, right? This right here, we can see that every carbon atom is surrounded with 4 hydrogen atoms, right? So we have this here, that is C4, CH4, right? Every carbon atom is surrounded with 4 carbon atoms. And that is this structure we have right here. And we can see right here that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. But the fourth one is substituted with bromine or bromine, right? So in this case, bromine has become the substituent to this carbon atom. Let's continue. We can see that carbon here have 1, 2, 3 hydrogen atoms, and the fourth one has been substituted with chlorine, right? And this right here too has been substituted with chlorine, right? So we have two substituents, that is bromine and chlorine. Now, we have to consider their alphabetical order before we can name this. So we know that now we know our parent name to be heptane, which is coming from the alkane family, which is coming from the alkane family. Now, once we have identified the parent name, we have seen the substituent, which is the bromine and the chlorine, right? Because they are attached to a carbon atom, we will name the bromine bromo and the chlorine chloride. I hope you get it. Good. Now, we have to look at the shortest, right? The shortest distance, right, on the carbon. So we can see right here that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We land on the carbon atom. But when we move from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that one to landed on the bromine atom, right? And when we move from here, 1, 2, 3, we land 1, 2, we land on the first chlorine atom, and then the third one being the second chlorine atom. Now, when we move from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see that before we land on the first, we are on the fifth carbon atom, and we are not going to consider that because we want the shortest distance to reach the substituent, right? So now from here, we can see that first chlorine atom is landed on the second carbon atom. So we have 2 chloro, and then the next one too is chlorine. So it's going to be 2, 3, because we have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, right? So we have 2, 3 chloro, but they are 2, so we call it 2 chloro dichloro, right? 2 3 dichloro, right? 2, 3 dichloro, because we have 2 chlorine atoms, right? So 2, 3 dichloro, and then when we move from there to, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Bromine is on the fourth carbon atom, so that one too is 4 bromo. 4 bromo, right? So we can easily name this now. You can see that we have all the names down. Now, which one comes first? We have to consider alphabetical order. B comes before C, right? So we consider bromo first before we consider chloro, right? So here we are going to have 4 bromo 2, 3 dichloro heptane. So this right here, we're going to have 4 bromo. Don't forget, between a letter and an alphabet, you separate it with hyphen, and between a letter and a letter we separate it with comma, right? So this is 4-bromo, 4-bromo, then 2-chloro, right? So hyphen 2-chloro, dichloroheptane, dichloroheptane. So this right here, we can see that we have 4-bromo, 2,3-dichloroheptane. Don't go and separate alphabet and alphabet with anything. I didn't say that. Between alphabet and alphabet, we don't use anything, just write it continuously like that. So the name to this structure right here is 4-bromo, 2,3-dichloroheptane, and that is what we have right here. So first, you consider the longest continuous carbon chain, right? And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that is hep. But because it's a single carbon bond, we call it heptane because it's coming from the alkane family. Alkane family. You too, you have a family, right? This one too, this is its family. We call it alkane family, right? So once you are done with that, then you consider if there is any substituent or subject, right? This substituent is a molecule or an element, right, that replaces the hydrogen atom on the carbon atom, right? Good. So this right here, we can see that carbon is supposed to be surrounded with 4 hydrogen atoms, but in this case, it has only 3, 1, 2, 3. And the 4th hydrogen atom has been substituted with bromine, right? And the same applies to this one. So those elements are called substituents. And this is how you name those substituents. You name, you count from the shortest distance, right? The shortest distance. So this right, you can see that when you count 1, 2, you reach the first chlorine. 1, 2, 3, you reach the next chlorine, right? But when you move from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, before you even reach the first chlorine, that is wrong. You get it right. So in naming the substituent, you use the shortest distance. But in naming the parent name, use the longest distance. Good. So once you are done with naming the parent name, the substituent, then what follows is that you have to consider alphabetical order. B comes before C, so bromo comes before chloro. And in this case, we have 2 chlorine atoms, so we name it dichloro, right? And we have 2, so it's 2,3-dichloroheptane. So the whole thing becomes 4-bromo 2,3-dichloroheptane. That is very, very simple. Thank you very much for watching this content. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy this tutorial, don't forget to press on the notification bell, like, comment, and I'll give you more content. Bye-bye.